You're so like free spirited that sometimes I'm like the Virgo doesn't come through as much, but then I think of your Partiful invites.
Yes, absolutely.
Max's Partiful invites. I'm so glad you brought that up, Hannah.
Yes.
They're so iconic because it'll be like a stunning photo of you like standing in the middle of water like Jesus with like details of what's happening, but no address and no time.
No.
I can tell from the vibe of this picture, it will be in his backyard.
Hey Siri, remind me to tell Layla about this crazy thing that happened yesterday.
Voice memo, Hannah. You will not believe who I saw last night.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell you the epiphany I just had.
Girl, I know we just talked, but I forgot the best part of the story.
Layla, I cannot wait to tell you.
Hannah, I literally can't wait to tell you.
I can't wait to tell you.
I can't wait to tell you.
I can't wait to tell you.
Hannah.
Layla.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
What to say?
Well, I kind of made us get on mic because we kind of started talking to each other, to our guests, and I wanted to get everyone in on the scoop. I was
dirty
asking
deets.
Layla how she was feeling today because you can kind of go into, I'll give you the broad question of how was Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was good. I had a good time with my family. It was good to see my siblings' kids. Everyone
Feels like you're like in a hostage situation.
I had a good time with everyone. It was all good. But we did all get norovirus, and on Thanksgiving night, I was throwing up and shitting my brains out.
Oh, and I will say, Layla texted me I have norovirus, and I said, what hole? And she said both.
I said, girl, both.
Girl, both. I said, ooh, not the double hole, double homicide.
I've never had the double homicide before, actually. I don't think I've ever had norovirus. I've like had stomach bugs where I've thrown up and stuff. And I even did a cruise ship for Christ's sake. But cruise ship. Everybody on cruise ships would famously like talk about norovirus and how the whole ship would get it. And I never got it there. Did get it from my sister's baby. It was like crazy. It was like a horror movie because my sister's baby was throwing up like the morning before they arrived to South Carolina, but then each person was dropping. Like at first it was my sister-in-law, and she was kind of downplaying it. I don't mean to minimize her, but like the next morning she was feeling sick, and I was like, "Oh, Dee, are you feeling sick? What happened?" And she was like, "I was up throwing up last night." And I was like, "What?" Like
parents are tough. Parents are so because I feel like once babies start bringing things in, parents are constantly sick, and they're such warriors that they have to be like, well, that's just how I feel, and I have to keep going.
Zach was saying that she has a high pain tolerance because I was like, Adi did not make it seem that bad. He was like, she is like tough. Like she can get
that
through
energy.
it. Yeah, she's like throwing up, no problem. But no, but it was bad. But like she threw up a couple times and then felt better. And then like we did Thanksgiving early on a Wednesday because we were all leaving Friday. So my mom was like, let's have everything made Wednesday. That way Thursday and Friday we can just eat leftovers. And we were like, yes.
Such a good idea,
It was a great idea. And it was all going well. And then Asher, my nephew, got it.
He follows me on Instagram.
Oh my God, baby Asher.
Baby Asher.
He's really cute.
I didn't know babies could use phones like that.
And he's such a good, thank you Asher again for commenting on all of ours.
He comments a lot.
He even was commenting on Hannah's British hookup.
Yes. He had a really beautiful POV.
It's like, we all want to meet him. Anyway, Asher did fall apart with the norovirus. He recouped quick. Everything was fine. Then Thursday morning, we were all going to go for a nature walk, and Joey was like, I feel kind of crappy. And I was like, please tell me you don't have neuro. And he was like, it's fine. Let's go on the nature walk. Joey, at the nature walk, like we went to go get coffee, the only place that was open on Thanksgiving, because the Gorsteins have to go get coffee. And we're like standing by this pond, and Joey's like, I think I'm about to throw up. And then I was like, God damn it. So then Joey went home. He was in bed all day. He never threw up, and we think it's because he never ate anything that day.
That's what he told me. He was like, I never threw up. So then I was like, oh, whenever it's like you're just you and I was like, oh, so Joey was just shitting for like hours.
It was like he just like he just he would dry heave. Sorry, I'm going into detail. Anyway, I was like, I think I made it past. Like, I feel good. We went and saw Wicked that day. And then I got home, had some soup for dinner. At like 9:30, I was like, oh God, I have like a horrible headache. And then we were like, well, you're probably just dehydrated. I get in bed at 10:30. I'm like, fuck. I go to the bathroom and it all starts happening. And then I was up all night doing it up. It was pretty horrendous though. Like Adi was like, yours sounded way worse because she didn't have it from, both holes.
Both holes.
And
both hole Layla.
Both hole Layla. That's my new name.
That was your name in college.
The boys loved it.
Double the hole,
not
double
the holes
the
you
fun.
think. And then
Whatever holes you're thinking of, think the opposite.
ear holes. Yeah. But it was bad. Then me and Joey managed to fly home on Friday morning. Miserable. It was so hard to fly. Every second was like,
Super
Jesus
sweating.
Christ, please God, just let us get home. And then, we've been camping out here in our little neuro nest for the last 4 days.
So sorry that happened to you.
It's okay.
Really tough, especially on Thanksgiving. Kind of the entire thing is all about eating.
Yeah, I know, right? It was crazy. And when I had been throwing up, I did have a lot to eat at that point. So there was a lot to come. And I knew that as soon as
You
it
knew
started.
the journey ahead.
Sorry, everybody. I'm sure my mom is like, but my parents didn't get it, luckily.
That's
So,
awesome for
yeah.
them.
For them. I was like, I really hope they don't get it. I think they'll be killed. It was brutal. I've never had anything like this before.
Yeah.
I'm not one to get sick like this. I always
Yeah.
pride myself on that. Anyway, so I'm like going 50% today.
Okay. We're on our way up. We're on the ups.
We're on the ups.
We love to hear it.
Should we bring in our guest? Because this is how it all began.
Didn't ask me how my Thanksgiving
Oh my God,
was.
Hannah. Sorry.
It's okay. I was going to make sure that I addressed it.
Hey, listen. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was really good. It was very chill. I normally go to New York to see my sister for Thanksgiving. But this year, joke's on me because I wasn't going to be able to ask for more time off from work. And then lo and behold, everyone was sick. So we ended up getting a bunch of shows canceled. So time was taken off. So probably in retrospect, could have went to New York.
Damn it.
But it was fun anyways. Very, very, probably the most low-key Thanksgiving I've ever had. I went over to Claire and Chase's beautiful new home that is right down the road from me. And we ate, I think Claire got enough meat and cheese for 10 people and went to Agora and just really let loose. And we just truly ate cheese all day, drank wine, just played games. It was so fun. And it was so no stress involved. And I think there's the sacrifice of being with your family and a big Thanksgiving. All of that is so fun. And you're so much love and camaraderie and all of that, but there's always stressful moments.
Yeah.
And so I was happy to have a really low-key Thanksgiving with friends that we put absolutely no stress on ourselves in any way, shape, or form.
And you got to have a Boulevardier. That's like a Negroni with bourbon.
Oh, yes, Negroni. No, it was a Negroni with rum.
Oh, a Negroni with rum.
Yeah, I didn't really know it. I was like, I had a Negroni with rum, and you said a Boulevardier, and I just kind of ignored that because I was like, what is that?
Maybe that's not. Is that a Boulevardier? Will you look it up, Shelby? It's like maybe a bourbon Negroni is Boulevardier. Anyway, Joey's parents love a Negroni with rum.
A Negroni with rum was very tasty. Very, very tasty. It was just a little more mild. And then a Negroni with whiskey is a Boulevardier? It's a Boulevardier.
It's with whiskey? Oh. Okay.
Yes, it was, and Chase made us dirty martinis. It was very, very, very fun. And then, everyone got sick, and including me. bad migraine. And
Not the look to our guests.
and then they ended up having to cancel our shows, which was a bummer because the show that was initially canceled was the show that my therapist was supposed to go to. And I've been begging her to come to a show. And she had finally like agreed because she had guests coming in town who wanted to go see it. And then I emailed her and I was like, I'm so sorry. I have no idea what show they're going to put in our place. I'm not going to be there tonight. Whatever. I hope it's a good show that they put in place. And then she actually emailed me back and she was like, it all worked out. Our friends who were coming to travel to visit us couldn't make it because of the snow. And then added at the end, so it looks like I'm going to have to come see you and the crew sometime, another time.
Okay, good.
So it seems as though the stipulations are gone of having it have to be someone else's idea now that I've gotten my hopes up around it. So.
I was very sad that I was going to miss the show your therapist was coming to.
I know, it's a big deal. I've been talking about my therapist, and everyone that I talk to my therapist about is like, your therapist rocks, and I'm like, I know. She's teetering. She teeters on the line of, I try not to give her any hints that I think she could be my friend because I don't want to scare her off. But like, she's very cool. Very, very cool.
I'm sure she's also, she's married. We don't know.
She will not say I have tried to turn the conversation to her, and she is a wall.
Wow.
She will not. She did say she wears like an engagement ring. I don't really know the difference between an engagement and a wedding ring. So she could either be engaged, married, or just likes to wear a ring on that finger.
Okay. Well, I'm sure whether it's a fake engagement ring or not, I'm sure she talks to that partner and is like, God, I wish I could be friends with my patient so badly.
I hope so. That's the real goal of therapy.
But yeah.
That's all I have to say. We can bring in our guests now.
I was going to say, did you guys play games at Chase and Claire's?
We did. We played the classic 1 through 10 game.
Classic.
That the game Kennedy brought to the masses. We love so much and had a lot of laughs. One prompt was Chase was like a nickname for myself, and the winner, and I can't remember what Claire said. Claire said like the Goocher, or like not the Goocher. It was Claire's gonna have to comment what hers was, and then mine was my shiny boy, but you have to say it, my shiny boy. I think the number was a 7. And then the one that actually ended up winning was from Ollie, and it was Storm Killer.
Storm Killer.
He's a storm killer. And then after all this, we got so high in Chase and Claire's garage. It felt like high school because we had to do it in their garage because we couldn't do it in their house and it was cold.
Something about smoking
pot in a garage.
In a garage when it's snowing is like so nostalgic in high school.
And me and Claire were just like flossing, and we were like couldn't stop flossing.
Like dancing?
Yes, we were flossing, dancing, and we all had on what looked like costumes because we all like put on we all looked like we were from different movies. Like Claire or Chase had on like almost like a Letterman's jacket and like sunglasses, and we're like Storm Killer. But smoking weed, I think, is actually the perfect segue into bringing our guest in. This guest, we have been trying to get him on the pod for a while.
Months.
Really, just we've been horrible logistically.
Very.
Sickness, all the things come up, but we're so excited to have you on. Let's bring him in, Max Thomas.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be on. All the other times I was supposed to be on, I was shitting and throwing up. So I couldn't be here, and I had a migraine too on top of it.
We assumed. Okay, let's say, how was your Thanksgiving, Max? I know you kind of you told us a little bit, and then I made you guys get on mic.
So my Thanksgiving started the night before because I fried a turkey for a community event where it was like 50 plus people that came and people were playing instruments, people were tap dancing, and I fried this turkey and like was able to see how many people one turkey could feed, and that was so much fun. It was so much fun to just like be around everybody, and it was a free event.
What was the answer? How many people did it feed?
Oh, it fed like every single person. Like every single person, you could slice off some. It got to a place where like the knife I was using was like 2 jackets, so I had to like just give somebody a leg at some point. But it was
I would be happy if I got the turkey leg. A fried turkey leg?
Turkey leg is
That's
so
like
good.
the best part. I'm a dark meat girl.
Oh, yes.
Dark meat.
Me too.
Dark meat
Absolutely.
girl.
Absolutely. Especially for things like turkeys.
Let me
and
ask you
ducks.
this logistically, because I know a lot about fried turkeys. My dad also fries turkeys,
Okay.
but he does it the outdoor kind.
Of
Because you were
course.
saying you do the indoor
To
kind.
burn your neighborhood down.
Yeah, burn your neighborhood down. And we know people who have burned their houses down from frying a turkey.
And yet people just continue to do that.
Yes.
Anyway, but my dad will like inject the turkey the night before. Tell me your your process?
Yes, so I'll brine it. Either my dad goes to like Home Depot, cleans out the Home Depot paint buckets, and then we'll ice bath, like brine it, and then we'll season, and then pat it dry, do a dry brine of it, and then we'll inject it.
Wow.
Yes,
and when you guys are saying injecting, is that injecting into the meat, into the cavity,
into the meat?
Into the meat.
Into
He
the
takes
meat.
like a baster and takes like teriyaki sauce and injects it.
Absolutely.
And it keeps it kind of moist.
It
and
does,
then, but like the skin will be fried, so it's like crispy, but then moist.
Yes.
Wow.
It's really an interesting process.
And I will say the turkey is my least favorite part about a Thanksgiving dinner.
Of course.
I'm never like, yay, I finally get to eat a turkey. But a fried turkey does sound better than a tradition.
So juicy.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds nice.
Yes.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And we have an indoor one where we can just drop it in like right on the counter. It only takes an hour.
That's crazy.
That's the wild
best
thing.
part.
Yes. I think that's the other reason why like most people like hate turkeys, because they're like, oh, this is about to take the whole day.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
And you got to go in. I remember my mom, she tried like every method. She was cooking it in a bag for a while. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And there's like this old home video of my mom and my dad's like, show us the turkey. And she like brings it out and she's like, this year we put the turkey in a bag so that the juices come around. And it's so fun. I'm like, it's so 90s.
So 90s.
Yes.
Yes.
Olive.
What's that called? It's like a basoo or something where you like vacuum seal the meat and then put it in a little warm bath.
Oh, yes. It's sous vide.
Sous vide.
Sous vide.
Bisou.
Sous vide.
Yes. Yes, which is always fascinating.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have one of those.
Right. Yeah. That's all a little bit too involved. I do love a ham.
I love it.
I love a ham.
Joey was just saying the other day, like he wishes that we would have a ham either at our Thanksgiving or even for the holidays, but that's very not kosher.
Not Jewish. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, we all eat ham, so
Yeah.
we obviously could make a ham.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just not good optics on a holiday.
No.
I don't think I think I've literally heard my mom being like, I will never make a ham. But I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
She's anti-ham.
Anti-ham. Ham is fun because I don't need a lot of it.
No.
A
But it
couple
tastes
bites.
so
it's
good.
and using ham and like other things, like I'm so into that. Like for the flavor of
Yes,
it.
ham with your eggs.
Ham with the egg, ham with the green beans,
Yes.
ham,
Oh.
like a little bit of salt.
Yes.
I think I just
Yes.
like salt.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. You like that natural
The saltiness. Yeah.
Yes.
It's so true.
Yes.
I wonder
Nice
who
glaze.
decided like it'll be turkey for Thanksgiving, ham for Christmas.
I know. What I've been doing is doing duck. I'll either fry or
okay.
I'll Peking duck.
I've been hearing
Yes.
I've been hearing this too. The murmurings are people like we get Peking duck for Christmas, and I was like, that sounds fun.
It's the move. I mean,
Dude,
it works in a
that
Christmas
sounds
story.
good.
Yeah,
You know?
I haven't had duck in a really, really long time because I was a vegetarian for 7 years, and I'm just now in my like
Meat era.
almost like year-versary of like being in my
is
meat era.
insane.
I know, and now I went like I overcorrected so hard, where I'm just like meat.
Is it true what people say of like once you reintroduce it, like your body is like, oh, what the hell is this?
I definitely like had to, I was like trying to listen to my body and be like, okay, I'm eating this. How do I feel?
Yeah.
And I definitely like eating like a steak. I was like, especially like a steak when I was like on my period, I was like, do. Like I felt like I
Mario?
yes. Like I was
Yes.
like, oh my God.
You're losing all that iron. You're like,
yes.
let me
I'm like
replenish.
getting that iron and all of those things. I was like, okay. And I will, I mean, I'm always changing elements. I'm like addicted to self-improvement. And so I'm like, a lot of different factors changed, but I did notice like skin and things like that. Like there was some change in that was positive, but I don't know. So who knows? But it tastes good.
I know. Bottom line, I need a bacon. Yes. Yes.
And then, so you did the community event, then you did a little bit of family time.
So on Thanksgiving, went to a Friendsgiving, met a 1-year-old named Ocean, my friend's 1-year-old, and that was beautiful. And they had a huge, like, Costco size bottle of Maker's Mark.
Beautiful.
And
Oh
then
my God.
I made jambalaya and collard greens.
Beautiful.
And then, you have that moment. And then we went outside. It was, freezing. Went outside on the deck because, of course, your 1-year-old to smoke weed. And we're all like out there shivering and we're laughing because it feels like high school.
Yes.
But then you have that moment where you're like, oh, maybe that's what this whole fake holiday is. It's just drinking whiskey and eating.
Literally.
And smoking with your friends.
I mean, back in the day, like during college time,
Yeah.
we had like a huge tradition of Black Wednesday.
Oh,
we would go back to our hometown, and the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we would all go out to like bars.
Yes.
And this was, the first time in adulthood that we could like go to bars in our small hometown.
Yeah.
And we would get absolutely fucked up. And it would be like, you'd see everyone from high school and you would be like, oh my God, in high school, like blah, 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 blah. And it was like, you always ran into, like, I would always have like my girlfriends over and we'd all like pregame super hard at my apartment and then like, or at my mom's apartment, and then we'd go to the bar and then it would just be like absolute tomfoolery. And like in my hometown, you could like smoke in bars. So there would be like people would be like smoking cigarettes. There was always karaoke. You're seeing a million people. You're seeing all your crushes, all of the people, all of those things. I always, after the fact, would get like really weird Facebook messages from people. Like,
of course. I saw you.
Yes.
You looked older last night.
Yeah, for real.
Sure.
Yes.
Your boobs are bigger.
And then like now being in my 30s and being so far removed from it, I'm like, hell. I don't want to see any of those people anymore.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm done. I don't need to go to a high school reunion. No Tina shade, but I don't.
I agree. I don't either.
Yeah,
I know
I'm good.
It makes for a good movie, but
Right.
Yeah,
I'm like,
cinematic.
all the people that I
Yeah.
want to stay in contact with, I have.
that's what I always say as well. I agree.
Did you go to high school in Chicago?
I did. So there is sometimes where I'll like run into somebody in the Starbucks and they're like, "Oh, are you going to the 10th?" And things like you're like, nah, didn't even know,
Right. I've been on Facebook. I feel like all of that stuff happens on Facebook.
Facebook is LinkedIn for just the for the jobless, for the everybody. It's our
nothing
LinkedIn.
good happens on Facebook
Yes.
anymore.
It is
Yes.
really funny though, like the people who make the Facebook events who are our age now, that was like their personality in high school.
In high school.
Like there was this girl, she's so
Totally.
nice, but her name's Charlene Aiken and she will make a lot of Facebook events. But like in high school, that was like who she was too. She would like make some events.
Yes.
I was thinking before coming here, thinking about you, Max, and I was like, Max is a Virgo.
Yes.
And you're so like free spirited that sometimes I'm like, the Virgo doesn't come through as much. But then I think of your Partiful invites.
Yes, absolutely.
Partiful invites. I'm so glad you brought that up, Hannah.
I know, because I'm like, there's the Virgo.
You're
that is.
Getting a Partiful invite.
Yes.
They're so iconic because it'll be like a stunning photo of you like standing in the middle of water like Jesus with like details of what's happening but no address and no time.
No. Just gotta be there.
You just gotta be
You gotta
there.
feel the vibes for
Tap
wherever you are. Tap in.
I can tell from the vibe of this picture, it will be in his backyard at 8 o'clock.
You made it. Yes. That's exactly what it is.
But it's always like, it makes my day when I get it.
Truly. And something I've just like always admired about you is you are so community based and like you want to bring people together. You want to have a good time. And like, I think that that like organization around it, or like the passion around like organization around community things, all those. I remember during the pandemic like you were running the food drive in the South Side and we came and dropped off a couple boxes for that. But I was just so impressed at your ability to like see something, get it done, and be so helpful and guide a community like that.
And you were driving around getting food, which was so crazy. I remember giving it to you from my apartment.
Yes. Which was just so wild of how many. I think like when I drive through the city, I realized like how many people it affected.
Yeah.
Because there was even a point in the pandemic where I started putting out my number and saying, hey, you can text me. Like if you and your family need, and I mean like that's all throughout the city. There were people that were unemployed. They were just like, hey, I have extra people living with me now. I need more food.
Totally.
And it's just wild. It's wild that we live in a country where, the immediate reation is not, everybody should have money and have food and have all the resources they need.
It's crazy. I mean, Chicago's getting, the whole country's getting the brunt of all of these things happening nationally, but like Chicago has been somewhat targeted. But I don't know about you guys, but like I've been so impressed with how Chicago shows up for each other.
Definitely.
And it makes me feel like no matter how far this fucking shit show goes, I feel really at peace being in Chicago and being around people who will show up for each other.
Absolutely.
And like have each other's backs in the best way we can. I feel like where, you know, it can all feel so intense. It truly gives me a sense of peace knowing that I'm in Chicago.
Completely.
You know?
Definitely.
Completely.
I would say like the majority of people will help you if you're in a crisis, like
Totally.
in the moment, you know?
We've seen it. We've seen the
Yes.
example.
Yeah.
We've seen people jump out of their cars and say, no, this is not going to happen
Right.
Yeah.
in front of my eyes. You know what I
Right?
mean? Yeah.
Exactly. So we want to go into our 3 C's. Max, what are you consuming right now?
Oh, okay. So speaking of this country and,
Yes.
you know, problems within this country, I'm always trying to escape
Yes.
mentally if it's not physically. So I'm watching a lot of Anthony Bourdain.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay,
Max,
give
such
me
a good one.
Give me like all of your thoughts because this is so serendipitous. I just finished the memoir of
Yes.
his assistant,
Oh,
Lori
wow.
Wollever. She was Anthony Bourdain's assistant for up until his death.
Whoa.
And I actually didn't really enjoy her memoir.
Oh, really?
It was interesting because she also worked for Mario Batali.
Yes. That's
So
right.
she worked for Mario Batali, and that's how she actually
Wow.
got the
Those are two
thing.
different
Opposite
extremes.
sides of
I
the
know.
yeah.
And Mario Batali and Tony, she said no one called in Anthony Bourdain's life Anthony. He goes by Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Bourdain.
Yeah.
So she was like, Tony and Mario, they were good friends. But then when all the cancellation stuff came out about Mario, Tony had no idea. And he made like a big stance against him when all of that.
Wow.
All of that, and
Wow.
encouraged the woman who wrote the book, who was like a victim of Mario Batali, to come forward with like her stories about it. But it was like good because it was interesting. She's an addict. And so most of the book was kind of about,
Wow, that's fascinating.
yes, she was like just her addiction to alcohol and access and how this like life of going around with Anthony
course.
Bourdain.
Who was
how,
also used to be an addict.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, just like
Yeah.
all the drinking, she was like cheating on her husband. She was like doing all of these things, and which all forgivable things. It was just the tone of the book was very heavy. It was
Okay.
like really, really self-loathing kind of like it wasn't, memoirs. It's like, oh, this stuff happened, but I'm writing it from a tone that I've like healed from this and that
Oh,
I see
yes.
and I forgive myself. And there wasn't a lot of like self-compassion and
You could tell she's
self-forgiveness.
still in it.
And yeah, she's 6 years sober now. That was like in the afterword, but she was definitely like, it was written not from a lens of like empathy for herself, a lens of like, I'm a shit person sort of thing. And that was where it kind of was like hard to take on because there wasn't a lot of there wasn't a lot of like lightness in it.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting because I actually have an obsession with Anthony Bourdain.
Yes.
I want to hear. So what brought you to it, and what videos have you been watching?
I've always been a fan of his, and I think the one that really stands out to me is, this year I watched his first one, which is Cook's Tour. That was on for like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But in there, one of those episodes, he goes back to one of his line cooks, or like his main line cook's family home in Mexico. And then this guy, he shows like, they'll have like Bourdain like owned a small restaurant, French restaurant in New York that this cook worked at, but then built this huge farm for he and his entire family. Goes back, tends to the farm, has cattle. His family like cooked this huge feast and everything, taught Bourdain like how to ride horses and all this stuff. Like it was just fascinating to see that connection.
Yeah.
And I think that was something that's the thing I always love with him is that he brings the connection between immigrants and how much they have created this country, created America, and literally have made all the cool things, all the things we love so much.
Right.
Our whole culinary experience is built off of immigrants.
And like how he helps these people who never get their stories
Yes.
told
Totally
and
gives
tells
them a
their
platform.
stories.
Right.
I like am so inspired by Anthony Bourdain. I remember I went to the first time I went to Oaxaca City, we went out to this like way out in the mountains called Mitla, and it was like an hour and a half drive, and we went to this woman Mimi's house, and she had like 3 generations of people living in her home, and they had no like running water, no electricity, but it was like a cooking class, and she taught us how to like make tortillas. The whole like farm was sustained by the 3 generations. Her husband was blind. He made don't you know like the like cotija. He would make the cheese there. He was blind and he's been making like he just makes
no running water,
making cheese. Like it was so. And she didn't speak any English, but they had a translator who was like telling us all that. And I was just like the whole time she was telling all of these amazing stories and was so kind, teaching us how to make 2 different moles. And I was like, this woman needs to be on television.
Yes.
I was like, this woman needs, I was so touched. Like I cried. I like, we hugged on our way out. There was like, even with like the language barrier, it was like, you could just like feel her soul and like how she was, and she had a day where everyone in the community in Mitla, they could all come and eat at her place for free. And so it was just like, I was like, these are the stories that I like want to tell. And like, it was so inspiring and how people make so much with so little, but like it's all I don't know. It was just really, really beautiful.
Of course, and she definitely deserves a show compared to like the folks that go to the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America,
right? Exactly,
and
truly,
yeah, she's doing everything. Literally, I mean, like that's. You're telling me no running water and everything like that. She's definitely able to use indigenous methods.
Right. Absolutely.
All of this. That's incredible.
Yes, it was amazing. But yeah, it's very. I love that about Anthony Bourdain too. Of just like how he goes in and like wants to immerse himself in the culture and everything like that.
I feel like it's funny you bring him up because you have like a lot of similarities to him where I just feel like you take such an interest in people and like learn people's whole story and like you literally could talk to anyone. It's so funny. Like or like we'll be like out to dinner and you'll be like, hey guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to Walgreens and get like another bottle of wine for us. And then we don't see you for like an hour and a half. And then you come back and you're like, I met this man who had a whole story about how his father's father was a cobbler. Like you just like always have so many funny stories of like talking to so many people. And you just, I feel like you always take an interest in people's culture and where they come from and like having an appreciation for it.
Yeah, it's very important, especially in like what we do. It's like there's only so many experiences we can have, but like getting to know other people and people's experiences that are different from you.
You all know being on tour. We got that so much.
And here's the thing. I know what it's like to be a white woman going on tour. I will never know what it's like being a POC going on tour. Like, I think obviously we all can have like the fun experience or the hard experience, but like, I don't know, we went to like some very rural places where, Jillian would be like, I don't feel comfortable here. And like some experiences that happened where it's like, oh, wow. You think because we are in this like bubble in Chicago, but then like going on tour, you are really faced with some stuff that is shocking.
It is. It reminds you that nothing has changed.
Right.
Right. In this space. You're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It really does feel behind, and it is interesting. It is interesting being able to then have those connections with folks, because I wholeheartedly believe that in this country, if all the rural people, if all the working class people came together, our unity is much stronger than any of these billionaires
100%
who will easily sell each other out to be like, I'm the only person on this rocket ship getting out of this shit show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would easily pull the ladder up behind each other.
Yes.
But, the things that we see where we see people like helping each other out when ICE is attacking somebody or people during natural disasters.
Yeah.
It is always like working class people.
I know,
right? It's always somebody that's literally like, I have limited resources, but I'm going to stop everything right now to save you from this water, to save you from this avalanche, or to help you from when you're about to help de-arrest you,
I mean, when I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but on the pod, going into my sophomore year of college, the summer that I was home, my hometown Joplin got hit by a tornado that destroyed the entire town. There's now a Netflix documentary about it.
Wow.
That I have not watched because I'm scared of the PTSD.
Of course.
But it like flattened 7 miles of my hometown, which is a lot of the hometown. And it was devastating, and I like lost people that I like knew and loved, but also the silver lining of it, this like hometown sort of Midwestern small town that I loathed in some way and obviously like wanted to get out of like as soon as possible. seeing them like band together, seeing everyone. I mean, that entire summer, I thought I was going to go home and party with all my high school friends, but we were volunteering every single day. And I had like friends come, and we like had like golf carts that we were just driving. You go to the high school, it's like people are bringing things. People are like, as like a college age kid, I was like going on like search parties for like people and or like bodies. And like
your car was like a mile and a half away, right?
Yeah. So me, my mom, and my sister, we were on the second floor of her apartment, and the apartment, we were like in the bathtub with our 2 dogs and cat, and the apartment building like got ripped up above us, and behind and in front of us, in front of us was a Walmart, behind us was more apartment complex. Those were completely flattened. And my car was parked right outside. We go outside. My car was found like a mile and a half away from where it was parked. God. I mean, it was really, really intense. And
was that the summer? Sorry to go off topic, but was that the summer you worked at the optometrist's office?
Yes. So that it was like.
Was that the summer that you turned pretty?
It was all of those things.
Sorry to ask this. Was that the summer you turned pretty?
It was in so many ways. But yes, I did. The family that I babysat for back in high school contacted me and was like, "Hey, our ophthalmologist office got flattened. Will you come help us kind of like get things in order and like sort all of this paperwork?" And so then they were like working out of the mall, and so then I had to go. Yes, which we talked about last episode, the North Park Mall. I had to like go in, and like one day they came in, they're like, "Hannah, we have something to ask you." I'm like 19. I'm like getting blackout drunk every night. I'm coming in like hungover, just trying to do it. And they're like, so when people check in, and an ophthalmologist office is different than optometrist, because ophthalmology is surgery on eyes. So it's a lot of cataract surgeries. Oh, wow. So they're like, when you check people in, could you take this instrument and press on their eyeball 3 times? And I was like, I don't think I should be doing this. And they're like, no, Hannah. They're like, don't be scared, Hannah. It's really easy. You can practice. And so they were trying to, and I was literally like, my hand is like shaking. I'm like, I'm going to blind one of these fucking 9-year-olds. And I was like, and they're like, it's really not that, there's very little that you can do to harm. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't.
That's
I was
amazing.
like, I have to draw a boundary. I was like, I have to draw a boundary.
That's one of those things that's the most fascinating when natural disasters like that happen. It's like everybody else, except for everybody's a medical professional, is like, okay,
yes.
So how do I continue with business as usual?
Right.
Okay,
qualifications go out the window.
Like so much of that, of just like everyone lending a hand in any way they could. A lot of times it was like, we would be like, let's cook 50 hot dogs and drive around and just hand out hot dogs to people. Wow. Let's just like hand out hot dogs and chips and water, because it was just everyone every day was just helping, trying to put back. Obama walked the full 7 miles that the tornado went down. We had Extreme Makeover Home Edition come. They built an entire neighborhood.
That's awesome.
It was really like, I don't know, that's in all of the destruction. It was really beautiful to see people come together, and like people put like their money where their mouth is of stepping up in situations like that. It was really, really cool. And yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Triangle of Sadness?
Yes.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's so
good. Because it just like is such a good example. It's a great movie to anyone who hasn't seen it. But it's a really great example of like the hierarchy and the classes, but then how like when something happens, how like the woman who is like at the bottom of the totem pole becomes like high status because she knows how to gather all the resources and like has the tools.
Of course.
And so like in survival mode, she's the only one that knows what to do, and the rich people know nothing.
Where it's like, if you're like, I don't know, I've always, some days are easier than others, but I always try to be grateful for like the struggles that I went through, because it has like taught me skills, whether that's like emotional or physical skill, like all of those things that like, if, I always think about, this is kind of a broad subject, but like experiencing grief younger in life. I'm like, if you live like a long life, like everyone is going to like experience grief at one point or another. And like, I feel grateful that I've like been through and have the tools where I could potentially help someone else who's going through it later in life. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
those are universal experiences that are unfortunately going to come for everyone eventually. And so, yes.
Which is wild and also interesting at the same time.
It is. I mean, in that kind of bringing it back to the Anthony Bourdain of it all, it was so interesting because she was sort of talking about Lori in her book. It's called Care and Feeding. She was like, Anthony Bourdain, who had like gotten through addiction, gotten through like some like major like losses in his life, all of these things, has been exposed to a certain level. Like when he was like doing like Parts Unknown and really going into all, he was like seeing parts of the world and humanity in a way that can be very, I remember seeing something being like, because we have our phones and we can like see all of the things in the world and are exposed to all of these things. And it's like, you feel so helpless because you're like, well, I want to help this, but then it's like, but people here are starving and over here are in a war and over here. And so we're being exposed to all these things. And we're the only people on earth who have ever been exposed to this much trauma, because before, like, you didn't know what was happening over there. There was no, you could get a letter that would come to you months later, but like we're exposed to every single thing that is going on that is bad. So then it just feels like this surmounting thing where it's like, oh my God. So like Anthony Bourdain seeing all of that and like taking all of that on firsthand. But then the thing that like when he took his own life, he took his own life after he got out of a breakup, or like after his partner at the time cheated on him. And absolutely. It was like a really toxic relationship. And she was saying like, out of all of these things he's experienced, and I'm sure it was all cumulative too. Of course. But the thing that like made him take his life was like he like lost a battle with like love, like he like betrayal of like of love, and I don't know
that she was, you know, like she's an actress and that she had like assaulted a younger person, a child star.
I didn't know
he had come out fully supporting her because of the fact that she had been assaulted by
Harvey Weinstein.
But then it came out that a child star that all of us have seen like on Disney and stuff growing up was assaulted by her.
I did not know that element.
Underage. And then that came out. Wow. And then he was asking for like, he was like trying to take her to court. And then Anthony Bourdain settled, like paid him a lot of money. Wow. And then, but then that, all of that, I didn't realize until after he committed suicide that he had really put himself and his career out there in terms of like supporting like the Me Too movement. And then his partner being a huge part of that movement, and then it turning out that, you know, you're supporting a person that's also doing the violence.
It's so, I did not know that element of it.
Yeah, me neither.
So multifaceted. And I'm sure all of that accumulated to being like a mental torture of like,
I know, so much weight to carry.
So much weight to carry.
Because he was already a well-grown adult in his 40s when he got all this stardom. And he talked a lot, like even in that Cook's tour, that first show, a lot of that, he's very much like arm pushed away, like, please give me 6 feet or more. I don't even want a camera over my shoulder while I'm talking to somebody.
And it sounded like from his assistant, that was a very authentic version, like that is really who he was. I think that's also something that I like admire so much about like his authenticity to
definitely
himself and who he is, and that he didn't do anything, but then it's like almost like this double-edged sword because of how authentic he is and how he doesn't want it. People are like, we love you more.
I know.
We want to rip off your skin.
That's what Hollywood sinks their teeth into. Wait, 2 thoughts I had. In speaking of like all the things that we can see on our phone and just like the war at our fingertips, I feel like Adisa was just talking about this, that it like completely desensitizes us because it's like we see it all the time. It does. So it's like on one hand, like, okay, it's good to know about like what's happening in certain areas, and then on the other hand, it's like we care less because we're just seeing it all the time. And
we do.
It's like
we do.
Such a crazy thing.
I think for like
have to take breaks.
Total, and I also think it's like, realistically, we cannot help all of everything that's going on. We could try to live our life as ethically as possible, but that's why like it is so much peace and comfort to be like, I can control participating in my community. If I have more to give, absolutely. But like, I really think if everyone takes that mindset of being like, okay, let's focus on our community, then if our community is doing well, then how can we spill over into other communities? How can we, you know what I mean? But I think like that's where it starts, you know?
And like using what you can do to have outreach the way Anthony Bourdain did it through food. Like I think that was such a cool way to access people.
To touch people. Absolutely.
For sure. The other thought I had before we move to contemplating is that Joey always brings up that Anthony Bourdain's perfect cure for hangover is smoking weed the next day and mapo tofu.
That is hilarious.
That if you get some takeout mapo tofu and smoke weed, your hangover will be cured.
That makes sense.
I love that.
Take that away from Anthony Bourdain.
I love that. Hell yeah.
Okay. Well, that was gorgeous. I'm so glad you brought up Anthony Bourdain.
Yes.
Very serendipitous.
Max, what the freak are you contemplating right now?
Contemplating how to successfully take a 2-week trip, Berlin, Amsterdam, and Copenhagen.
Ooh,
how
Max,
to do it.
we are living such a similar experience.
I love it. I love it. Come on.
Now. My friend Nicole has been like texting me like nonstop being like, we need to go to Amsterdam. She's been sending me like she's like really fixated on our 2026 trip being Amsterdam.
Yes.
Ooh.
And then when you get there, you can go to a lot of other places by train.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Give me what research have you done so far, or what draws you to there?
Research is go to Berlin, start in Berlin.
Okay.
Everybody that I know that's ever spent a good amount of time in Berlin always says that Berlin is, out of all three of those, the cheapest.
Oh,
in terms
interesting.
and also like as artists and stuff like that's a space where you could go.
Yeah.
You could just kind of fall into it,
Yeah.
opposed to like a Copenhagen is supposed to be very expensive.
Okay.
Amsterdam could be very expensive, especially as a tourist.
Yeah.
But not Denmark, but Berlin is supposed to be a space where you could go and like, I can go to a dive bar and drink for cheap, eat for cheap, and be able to experience performance.
Yes.
You know, for a solid price. Compared to like in Copenhagen, Amsterdam, it's like everybody that's there is, you're all tourists. For the most part.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
When I think of Berlin, I think of leather.
Leather.
Me too.
Like
Those
Berlin
leather
makes me think of like leather daddies, and I don't know how.
That makes total sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, if you're going to Berlin, I feel like you need to like go to a sex club. Is that
Completely.
crazy?
Welcome to Club Wandersex.
Yes. It feels like you take nipple shots. Like
Yes,
it's poured
it
over.
feels like you go like I think like red lighting, like dark
Completely.
bar, people in leather, like that's what I think of,
Yes.
and that's just what I've conjured in my own mind of what Berlin is.
Absolutely. Like, have you all ever seen the Architectural Digest of Lenny Kravitz?
No.
Where he has, I forgot if it's his home in
that's good
France
homework.
or Brazil, but it's like where the whole house look, it's very open, light is coming in everywhere. There's all this beautiful fruit. People are walking through, it's, beautiful art everywhere. It looks gorgeous. Then he literally goes to like, I think it's through his kitchen. There's like a door that looks like, it's a back door about to go out the backyard. No, opens it. It is like, go straight down, and then you see everybody. It's literally like a speakeasy.
Wow.
As if you're just stepping into a totally different planet.
That's so cool.
And that's what I think of like with Berlin.
Yes, I think like all the bars are downstairs in my mind.
Downstairs.
You go downstairs.
Yes, you're going like downstairs. Like you have to have a lamp.
Yes.
Like
Everything's underground.
Exactly. Like, I went to this spot called Hanky Panky, a speakeasy in Mexico City. Everybody should go to. It's a spot where there's a grocery store over here. In it is a very small storefront. You walk in, you sit on picnic table while like an older woman is like stirring this huge soup. Huge fucking soup. And then like there's always somebody with like a earpiece that walks in and like talks to her and says, da, 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 like has a couple like a little conversation with her, and then she'll literally, you don't hear what they're talking about, and she just like points to who she's had an interaction with, right? And then that's like, it'd be like, she'll point to a person, and then that person with the earpiece will be like, Thomas, come this way. And then you literally go through the kitchen.
Do you ever eat the soup?
Open a door. Don't eat the soup.
What
Which
the
is crazy.
hell?
You could.
don't eat the soup?
Soup is sort of a front.
The people who are eating the soup, it's almost like, and I don't mean to put it this way, but it's kind of like in Men in Black.
Yeah.
Where like you see people in some, and there's like some opens up and it's like, this is where like all the aliens are. Like you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Where it's like this opens up, like you
It's
think
the
this
front
is
part
New
of
York.
the post office.
Yes, it's like a front of a post office, and then you're like, this is a totally different world. And that's what it's like there. It's so funny because while you're in Mexico City, you see this like this woman stirring this big pot. You're like, I'm already in a totally, like you're already immersing me in culture. And then you open up this door, and then you go downstairs, and literally all of the tables and seating are sunken in, and then you have to sit at tables with other people from all across the world. That's a funny thing. It's like when you go to speakeasies in Mexico City, that's where you're like, I thought I'm even going deeper into the culture, but you're kind of like making a right turn back to America.
Expats kind of like find each other. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like sometimes, especially if you don't speak the language, there's like some comfort in finding expats because you're like, oh, you know, we can like talk and debrief a little bit, but yeah, finding the balance of both. Yes. I've been wanting to go to Mexico City too.
I've always wanted to go.
Norte.
Yeah, because
I heard the food is amazing.
Incredible,
so good.
Incredible. People lie
city.
to you and say don't do the street meat. I'm telling you, go Bourdain out
Do the
there.
street meat.
Talk to people. Talk to folks. Because it's just like New York. New York, you know where the greatest halal stands are.
Right.
You'll walk with people and be like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. This is my guy.
Yeah,
Same
totally.
way as it is in Mexico City.
Yes.
You know.
I also feel like, I mean, I hate to like be so like dorky about it or like commercial about it, but I've had a really good experience with Airbnb experiences.
Me too. Me too.
Like,
Also, Sonder. Have y'all ever used Sonder? Know about Sonder?
No.
Sonder is a keyless hotel. They have a great one in Mexico City.
Okay.
I mean, paid maybe for a whole week, maybe $375.
Okay.
$400 cash
Wow.
for a whole week.
That's also, I love the affordability of Mexico.
Yeah.
You're like a condo with a balcony.
Right. I'm like Airbnb, like I've done a lot of food tours through Airbnb experiences and they're
yes.
always guided by like a local and like someone who's lived there and has like roots there, everything like that. So it's like, I feel like they're a good sort of guide, especially when you're like eating street food.
Totally. Absolutely.
Okay. Berlin, Copenhagen. What's
Yes.
Copenhagen known for?
Copenhagen is known for, you know,
Windmills?
like everybody's biking.
Okay.
Everybody's ass is rock hard. You know what I mean? From cycling everywhere.
Berlin leather,
Yeah.
Copenhagen,
Biking.
biking, Amsterdam,
Bike
mushrooms?
and weed.
Mushrooms, yeah. Red light
Psychedelics.
district, yeah. Also,
The Van Gogh Museum.
Absolutely, Van Gogh Museum and Frank Tour.
Yeah.
Yes. That's another thing I've always wanted to see. Is like I'd love to go to a place where there's some acknowledgement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
There's some acknowledgement of we committed genocide right here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because living in this country, they're like,
No, we like went to like Charleston and it's like the fucking where there used to be like slave auction markets.
Yes.
They just like have turned it into like a gift shop.
Isn't that crazy?
And it's like literally like I mean I have never I loved Charleston, but I have never been anywhere
Like,
where it was
confronted with it.
like, oh my God, like so confronted with it, but then like people talking about it in certain ways and like how, but then going to the market that has now just being like Charleston kind of like tchotchkes. And I was like, this was like a slave market.
Slave market, yes.
The market that you were talking about was like where this is a correction in the slave terminology that was like where the slaves would go to the market to go shopping, but not where they were.
Oh,
sorry. Yes.
Not to be all like that's not where they sold slaves.
You go, Layla's like defending it.
Yes, I love it.
That's actually the slaves were good there.
Yes.
No,
but you're saying like a market where they would go to like
It wasn't where they were like being sold, but at the end of it, where like the city courthouse was where they would like sell them.
Isn't that
Sorry, that I don't mean to sound like minimizing talking about
You're
the
not
history.
minimizing.
It's so deeply uncomfortable.
It is. And the fact that it was so insane, the fact that you would go, like you could be poor white yourself and be like, oh yeah, so this is my entertainment for the day. I'm watching people be so like that's
so
crazy.
So dark.
It is dark.
And then people are like, hey, how are y'all? Y'all want some scarves? Like it's like weird.
It's like, yeah, the acknowledgement I think is like I think it's probably it's uncomfortable, but like it's needed. I mean,
it was very similar when I went to Munich because in Munich, Germany, that was like the birth of the Nazi Party.
Yes.
And so it was just so strange because it's like, unfortunately, like such a cute place. Like we were walking around being like, oh my God, everyone's like so friendly and cute. But it's like you are like faced with how that's where all of Nazism began and like how it all started. And then also I went to the Anne Frank house when I was in college and like I really want to go back because when we went to Amsterdam, you know, it was like when weed wasn't legal for anyone and I was under 21. So like we immediately got to Amsterdam and smoked, but then like the whole time we were like high without trying to be. And so I went to the Anne Frank house high and like, I just remember like being there being like, this, I feel so uncomfortable right now that I am like literally high while reading and like listening to everything. It was brutal. And But like also
I took ecstasy and went to Anne Frank's.
Absolutely.
I started dancing with people.
Yes.
I was like, hey.
You like she was writing it. Oh my God.
That's so crazy, right?
How could you have known?
I just really want to go back and
Totally
experience
also,
it as an adult.
when you're in fucking high school, nothing's serious. You're like, everything is like, I don't know.
It was just so intense. I was like, this is a crazy state to be in while experiencing this.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. Have you all ever been to the African American History Museum?
I was literally going to bring that up. So we went there. We were on tour in DC, and we all went, and that was like such a beautiful, hard, like all of the things. I loved the way that they set up the museum where you like started in the basement and like you really like you're like learning like the timeline.
That you're in the bellows of the ship.
Yes. And like so you're like learning. Also, it was just like taking it in, but then also like seeing other people take it in.
It's so interesting.
I saw this man, this like Asian man who I don't think was American, like English definitely, he didn't speak a lot of it. And I saw him talking to a black woman and he was like, didn't understand. He was like, he was like, why would you let yourself, why were they letting themselves be slaves? Ooh. And the woman was like, well, this is how it like, and she was being so kind and literally like explaining slavery to this man. And it was like, it was funny, but also like kind of a beautiful conversation of just being like, trying to like, when you're seeing all the facts, it is so hard to be like, yeah, why the fuck did this happen? Why were all these people letting this happen? You know, how did this happen? But then seeing that exchange was just very beautiful, but also funny.
Absolutely. Totally. I know. It's such a wild thing.
Or people going up and like taking like a picture of like really horrific things.
I'm
like, what are they doing with those photos?
In that like Emmett Till funeral part, there was like two white women that were walking out and they were like, I just had to lean over to see if his body was really in there. I'm like, what are you talking about? And it kills me. It's so funny because like when you're in that space, you could feel from you could feel that even if like a black person tripped over a white person's foot, it's like, that's too much. Yes. That's too much. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, I'm sorry. Listen, don't call Jesse Jackson. I apologize. I should have tied my shoes. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like it's like one of those, everybody is like literally.
You can feel the energy in the room. I do
believe that spaces like that and Frank House, it just in my personal opinion, I do think. And also in Mexico City, I visited Casa Azul, Frida's house.
Yes.
And all three of those museums, I feel the exact same way. I do believe, yes, children need to learn about this stuff. I do not believe children need to be there. No, if you have to catch your child in places where they can knock over artifacts and shit like that, what are we doing? What are we doing?
We don't need to hear a baby giggling.
No,
it's like we
and they like don't fully get it.
They don't.
So
they're on their iPad walking around bumping into shit. No.
I'm like, if you want to bring your children and like teach them something, wait till a certain age where they can actually like take it in. Here's what I also say. Best food I've ever had. It was
at the museum?
Yes. I know. It was so good.
Yes.
It was like it was like cornbread, stuffed trout, banana pudding. Like we were all good. And it was like a really cool because at the time like we did have like a lot of POCs on our tour coast. So like getting to like all go through it together and like how all of us had a different experience and different things coming up and then being able to get food and sort of talk about it all and reflect on it all with a group of people who all really trusted each other and respected each other. It was cool.
I love that there's a quote in the cafeteria by Maya Angelou where she said that when we stopped cooking for each other, that's when the movement stopped. And I think that's true.
Wow.
It's like you do need to cook for each other.
Yes.
You know, like I know for a fact that she lived in Africa during the 60s and when like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, like different people would visit, she would cook for them.
Yeah.
She'd be their main resource to like of an American person that they can come to her house.
Yeah.
You gotta have it. You gotta have those kind of things, or you're not meeting people where they're at.
Yeah, that's you with the turkey.
That's right. Come on, we're all hungry.
We can all agree on that.
Yes.
And it's just such a great way to like pass down the cultural traditions and keep that history going.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah. I've never been to the one in DC before. I gotta go.
It's really cool.
You gotta also go before our president starts removing shit.
Right. And then like, you see like the whole experience is sort of like this progression, and then you
Rising
see
up.
like, you know, Afrofuturism and like I remember
Media.
when we were in Afrofuturism room together, we were all like pointing at things, being like, "There's Max."
That's hilarious.
we were like looking at the different outfits because I was like, that's something that like Max would show up to like wearing like on like a random Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. That's right. Yes. I love that so much.
It was
That
so
is very
fun.
me. Yes, that's exactly how I felt as well. Yeah.
The Afrofuturism room was so cool, and like even like there was like a like Black people in like media and entertainment room and all of those things, and like I mean just how it's like basically white people have been like ripping off like Black people through all of time, forever, and how many things we did not see that came before the stuff that we like fell in love with and loved. Just like paving the way.
Everything.
Yeah.
It really is wild. Like when you're in there, you know, it's dense.
Yes.
You know, it's so much. You need a whole weekend.
Truly.
To really visit it.
Yeah. But I highly recommend, before Trump gets his teeth into it. He starts posting up his pictures around it.
That's right. And if it gets too much, go outside, go to the reflecting pool. It's so cool. Like you got all of I love that about DC. All of it's free.
Yeah, it is cool.
That's the best part. Wow.
That is.
Yeah. Okay, should we move on to our final C?
Yes.
What are you curious about?
Curious about the effects of going to national parks.
Okay, God, Max, you're speaking my language.
You really are hitting all of Hannah's buzzwords.
Yes. Because I have America the Beautiful Pass, which is just $80, you know, for a whole year for you to go. You can go visit any national park and stuff. And I love it. I love going to places that are untapped, that you're reminded like, shit, if I drop a Kit Kat wrapper, it fucks up everything for these lizards. You know what I mean?
What national parks have you visited so far?
The Rocky Mountains, Joshua Tree.
You and Jordan have been to
Rockies
Mountain, Rockies twice.
So that was the one in Colorado?
In Colorado, which is great. I mean, like end to end, it takes 2 hours to get through.
Yeah.
And you lose phone service. Like
Rocky has like a lot of like longer hikes, which are really cool.
Didn't you guys see like a bear or something on your...
We saw black bears and we saw a huge, what is that called? Elk.
Oh, yeah.
Bull elk.
But you guys were like on shrooms, right?
Yes. And we were seeing, and it was insane. This elk was like marking his territory. It was like throwing his antlers into the trees and stuff and like it was fascinating. Now, also, I didn't realize that's what they call male elks, bull elks. So when people alerted us, people were like, oh my God, there's a bull. Like all of us were like, what the fuck? this is wild for real. Like,
Jordan was saying that like the rest of the group would start going, but you would like be like staring at the animal like while on shrooms.
Yeah, that's so me coded. I feel like I'm always trying to have a spiritual experience with an animal, even if I have to force it.
Come on. The animal's like, come on, man. I'm on the spectrum. I don't make eye contact.
Tell me what you want from me. What do I do with my life,
I come home, every time I come home high, I like my like cat. I'm like looking at it. I'm like, you know how much I love you, right? I feel like I'm like forcing this like spiritual connection in that moment. But yeah, I feel like, I mean, my lifetime goal, especially, I mean, same thing. If Trump doesn't ruin them all, I was like, I would love to go to every single national park in my life. Yeah. Because I think I've probably now been to like at least 7 to 10.
Wow. Have you been to Zion?
I haven't been to Zion. Zion, I heard is amazing. And so my friend Maria went to like, there's like the big 3 over there. It's like Zion, Arches, and then like something, maybe the Grand Canyon or something.
I think even the big 5 or something like that.
And they're like all really close to each other. But she says that's really awesome.
That's supposed to be breathtaking. That's where you could go to like, what's it called? It's like something Monuments Row or Monuments Rock, something like that. It's where they filmed all of the Westerns. Oh. It's where the backdrop, it's like you've seen it in everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a mix of, because Joshua Tree was like desert alien. Like it was so
alien.
like
the abyss.
Yes. It was like, I felt like I was on a different planet at Joshua Tree.
Complete. Did you ever see it at night?
Yes, we had like a place with a hot tub.
Incredible. You can see the Milky Way.
I mean, we go on a hike during the day. We'd come back home, make a cocktail like 4 p.m. Then we'd spend hours in the hot tub, just like freaking stars over it. The stars in Joshua Tree are like stars you've never seen.
Never seen. Absolutely.
So beautiful.
But what happens if you drop a Kit Kat wrapper?
Oh, you feel, I mean, like I remember a bag, plastic bag.
Yeah.
Plastic bag flew out of the rental car and I immediately stopped and like ran and got it. And like, it was so funny, like the weeds right off the road, like immediately caught it. It was like, no, you're not fucking this up. Like, it is wild.
I always thought it would be really fun to be a park ranger.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
like
totally.
It's so, I don't know. It's also just, we were
the Rockies, we were getting too spiritual with it. So like we found like a beautiful waterfall and we started jarring, like taking our mason jars, like getting the water. And then we at some point in it, see a park ranger. She starts talking to us. She takes our picture and stuff together. And then Jared was like, hey, just want to ask, you know, like a couple trails back, like we jarred up some water and stuff. Like, how safe do you think that is to drink? And then she was like, well, you know, the elk, all the cattle, they walk to these streams. They just piss in.
Right.
And she's like, and shit. And she's like, I don't really think that's that safe. And he's like, but lady, it tastes good.
It's like, it's the nectar of the gods.
It is some straight like Ice Mountain shit,
right.
You know?
I'll say anytime I'm like at a national park, anywhere in nature, and there's like a sketchy body of water, my ass is getting in.
Yeah.
If there's a waterfall, anything, I'm like, I am the first one to like, I'm gonna get in. I'm
Why
gonna
not?
like, there's something about like a natural spring, like, or like a lot of hikes, it'll be like you're going to like the body of water.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Just don't go to a sulfur hot spring.
Sulfur, yes.
Or you're just gonna smell like eggs forever.
I have been to a sulfur hot spring. Where the freak was
disgusting.
I?
It's like you're just in Tropicana.
It
Pulp.
is like, well, God, I can't remember where we were, but we went to a sulfuric hot spring.
Yeah.
But there was like, when we got there was only like a foot of like water, so we're kind of like trying.
Yeah,
we're like,
which
oh well,
is so
I think we like
weird.
traveled a pretty far way to get there, and so we were like, okay, well, let's just kind of like shimmy our way in. But we were like, kind of trying
you
to
gotta
make
go to
it worth
Pagosa
it.
Springs in Pagosa, Colorado, or you have to go, which is beautiful. It's blue.
Yeah.
You the only way that you cold plunge is literally in the river.
Okay.
But the rest of it is these beautiful hot springs. Or you go to Indian hot springs, which is built into the mountain by indigenous people.
Wow.
Which is incredible. Where you're literally no phones, no talking,
Love
and you're
that.
in these hot baths like that are surrounded by rock.
I love a
would love
space
that.
that gives you. I love a space that says no talking when you're ready for that energy.
Come on, when you're ready for that energy.
Right.
Absolutely. Totally. But when, again, there's another space,
Instructions?
do not bring kids.
Yeah,
I know.
I was like, don't bring kids on vacation ever.
Come on.
Anywhere.
I know.
Truly.
That's like how I feel. I'm sorry. I swear, I do think that the best birth control for anybody is going to any airport and seeing how parents deal with kids.
Truly,
and you're like, I don't want to do that.
I like have so much empathy for parents at the airport, but stay away from me.
Stay away. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like
I'm like,
truly
oof.
bringing it full circle is that it was such good birth control going to Thanksgiving this past week because my siblings' kids were just like all over the place and then also throwing up. And then it was just like a lot all at once.
A lot, yeah. And like sick kids, like they don't know that they're sick or they don't understand it. So they like want to, but they want comfort. So then they get even closer to you.
Yeah. They just like always have a streak going down their nose and they're rubbing it against you.
And I do think it's like when it's your kids, it's different. You're just like, well, blood of my blood, bone of my bone. Like rub it on me. Like we're whatever.
Same germs.
But same germs, family germs. But like I don't need someone else's kid's snot or
at all.
Like I don't. I just don't.
It is really crazy to me though when people bring their kids on like to luxurious springs or like places like that because it's like you're not gonna have a good time.
You're not.
What your kid doesn't want to be here. Like why would you do this?
Even with national parks, I'm like, if you have very small children, you're spending the entire time fucking up the whole ecosystem by yelling.
Truly.
Timothy.
I was like growing up, the only trips like we ever did as a family would be like we'd go to Arkansas. There was like this state park, Devil's Den State Park, and my dad would take us and we'd go like hiking. When I was younger, it would be like my dad was like, "We're going hiking today." We'd all be like, "No!" because we were just like walking. We're like, we don't want to walk all day. And then as we got older, we appreciated it more, and that's when I like went on like actual backpacking trips where we'd be like out in the wilderness for like days. But we would go splunking when I was a kid.
So cool.
So we'd go deep in the caves, and I have like a very specific scarring memory of going splunking, and like there was like this like area that was really small, and we kind of had to like push our bodies through, and I was going through it, and my dad was behind me, and there's people waiting behind us, and my dad was like kind of like trying to help push me through, and I farted so loud, and it like echoed. It was like it was like a million farts because of the cave, and my dad like it was like my ass was just sticking out, and like I did it like to all the people who were like waiting, and my dad was like couldn't stop laughing. I was like, okay,
That is great.
Splunking was so fun when I was young.
That's
and like
what splunking. That's what the word splunking sounds like. It is farting in a cave.
Farting in a cave.
Sorry, I just splunked again.
I'm sorry. And a little shot.
I'm like, splunking was fun as a kid, but as an adult, that's actually something that I think is because, did you ever watch the movie The Descent? It was like all those women go on a cave trip, and there's like these beings that live down there and kill them all. Yes, but now I'm kind of, splunking is scarier. When I was younger and I was more naive of all the things that could go wrong, I was like, this rocks. This is so fun. But I do think when the kids get older, national parks are like a good cost-effective
Definitely.
for the family.
Totally.
Active, it wears them out. They're in nature.
Totally. I don't understand when people bring kids to Vegas. I'm like, come on.
No. Okay, here's my question that me and my friends have that I like go hiking with. When you are passing someone on a trail, they're going like the opposite direction. How do you normally interact with people who are walking by? What's your instinct of
hello? And then I also, if I'm walking back, like walking down from a trail, I always like to tell them, because if they're going to a waterfall, I like to tell them, hey, it's going to be an hour, things like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, giving a little bit.
Absolutely. Watch out, it gets choppy, all that.
Perfect etiquette. That's me and my friend Aaron, when we were in Glacier, we made up a game where we would pass someone and have an interaction, because both of us like naturally would be like, hi, how's it going? Move out of the way, or like, oh, you're almost there, or it was beautiful, worth it, whatever. So every time we had an interaction with someone, then after the fact, we both hold up a number, rating their vibe.
I love
like
that.
5 was like an amazing vibe, and we'd be like, they're a 5. Bad vibe, we give a 1. So it would be like, we would pass, and then we would be like 3, 5. They were such a, and like
that
a 5 was always like an older woman like by herself with like 2 walking sticks.
Course.
And she's like, good morning, girls. The sun's rising on the good luck, good day.
Yes.
And then we're like 5.
Yes, those women are always so nice.
And
they're
then
like, watch
and then
out.
like a trail runner who like doesn't give a fuck and doesn't even make eye contact. We're like,
It's so interesting. Do you ever notice that it feels like some of the nicest people are out there?
Yes.
Like I never ever get a feeling of like, oh, I'm not supposed to be out here, or these people are making me not feel like I don't belong. Like I always feel like it's the people where, how can I say it? Like they're the people, the best people if shit hits the fan.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
totally.
Like they're always very helpful. We met an older couple that spent it was on a month-long trip going to these different national parks and biking, and they've saved up their money and they work for the government. They met in the late 70s.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And like driving the car that she had gifted her husband, and they have older kids. We spent like an hour or so just talking to them, and this was beautiful.
I think people who go into nature and like seek that out, like people have like a reverence and respect for like nature,
are more connected.
Yes.
I think going to people you meet at a national park are going to be like the opposite experience of people you meet at Disney World.
Yes.
For real.
You're so right.
That's a great way to put it.
My immediate thought was like opposite of Disney World.
For real.
I famously went to Disney World or Disneyland. Which one's in Florida?
Disney World.
Disney World with Kennedy, and we went to Epcot, and I was ready to leave in less than 3 hours.
That is
Really?
like the depths of humanity. Like
I was just we like did the laps, and like we were laughing, we were having fun with each other, but it was just like not my vibe. It was just it's all consumerism. It's just, you're paying for food that's not that good.
No.
You're paying for drinks that aren't that good. You're around all of these people who are so many kids. And it was just, it's all like, it's just all about like spending money, where it's like the national park, there's not even stores to spend money.
Exact opposite.
You know,
No.
it's like you're getting the nature's gifts, earth gifts.
The
Like
people at
right.
Disney World gnawing on their turkey legs at Epcot remind me of Fat Bastard, like from Austin Powers. It's just like so upsetting and disgraceful.
And
I agree.
yeah, it's just very, it's like two separate experiences. But I think the people who are drawn and kind of like, it's also a cheap vacation to go to a national park. You don't have to save up a ton of money. So it's also people who are probably grateful for the experience to be there. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Which I appreciate.
When me and Joey were in Vietnam, we were hiking up this like 500 step temple. And it's interesting because everyone who was also hiking it was not from America. And like a lot of them were Australian or like British. Some of them were Croatian, but they were not friendly. Like they did not want to talk. Me and Joey were the classic Americans. Be like, hey, or like, hey, want me to take that picture for you? And like, I took a picture of this one couple and they were like, so grateful where she was like, yes, please. And I like took the picture, but then they didn't take a picture back of us.
Wow.
They just like left immediately, which I guess is fine. But also like when we were at the very top, it was just like so beautiful. And you could see all of like the like cliffs and this like beautiful lotus flower farm. And the people were just like taking pictures of themselves and texting with each other and like would not make eye contact. It was just so interesting.
Yeah. I think I also try, because, you know, when you're at a national park, you're seeing all this beauty, you want to capture it, you want to, but even that, I've tried to be respectful of being,
Totally.
I don't want to be on my phone.
Right.
It's nice because a lot of time you don't have service, so it's not like you
Yes.
can even be distracted.
Yeah. Right.
But even, I try not to listen to music when I'm
Yeah,
like
you're not
hiking.
supposed to be. You're not
Yeah,
supposed to listen
no
to
music.
music, no.
But yeah, you're just like connected. Because yeah, even with that can like fuck up the ecosystem.
It can.
It's like they've
It
like
can.
never heard Lana Del Rey before.
No,
The Bears
they,
have never.
no, and they don't have to. And they don't have to. But it's yes. But like, I remember it, and there's also like some people that you just shouldn't meet on the trail. Like I remember there was a woman that me and Jordan that like came up to me and Jordan. She already seemed very drunk. And then she was
interesting.
Yes. And it was, I mean, like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. We were walking, like this was the trail. We saw the bull elk and everything. And it was insane because it was one of those moments, me and Jordan talk about all the time. It's one of those moments where like racism allowed us in. And she came up to us and she was like, isn't it crazy how there's some people who just like go up to these animals and try to touch them and everything? And then she started saying like, she was like, you know, like the Indian people? And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? And then she starts going down this rabbit hole. And then I'm like, no, your drunk ass is the one that's going up to elk and animals and making this fucked up for people.
That's crazy.
You. What are you talking about? I'm seeing you stumble up a mountain. What are you talking about? You over here drinking Franzia on the trail. What are you like?
That's crazy.
But like those kind of moments, you're like, how the hell did you even get here?
Literally. Well, it's also interesting because I know I shouldn't judge Denver from just watching Love is Blind Denver, but watching Love is Blind Denver and then thinking that like these are the people who are really close to all of this beautiful nature.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm like, those aren't the people that I want on the trail.
No.
I can't believe that those are the people that are so close to nature.
I know.
They always are. I remember during the pandemic, I stayed up near Colgate University, you know, upstate New York. Jeez, gorgeous.
Yeah.
So many Trumpers.
Yeah.
Like, it
Upstate
is
New York is crazy.
wild. You're like, how do you all have rolling hill?
It's so strange.
Well, there's a certain conservative person that is like, Colorado's like kind of that confusing middle ground where there are like liberal, like the cities are liberal, but then you have a lot of people who are like, I want my guns. I want my land.
That's right.
I want America the beautiful. I want to like protect so it's that very like specific conservative that's very much like almost like doomsday prepper sort of vibes. Like, don't tread on me.
Don't tread
let
on me. But then like the liberal folks are like white dreadlock people. And you're like,
go to Boulder and it's this like patchouli nation.
That's right.
Yes.
You're like Krusty Krab.
Right. Lot of crazy white people in Colorado.
Lot of crazy white people. Yes. Yes. There was even a white woman that we met at the Sulphur Baths that I gotta say that because it was so dark, I thought that she was a lighter skinned black woman. And then we followed each other. And then we get back to the Airbnb and me, Jordan, and Jared are cracking up because this is a white woman that gives other white people dreadlocks.
Not the reveal.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes. And I was like, what? And like we had such a great conversation about weed, and she owns her like own weed farm and stuff like that. And then I'm seeing these dreadlocks, and then I had met her friend who's definitely is a black woman. And I thought this one was a black woman. And then Jordan and Jared were like, bro, what is wrong with your eyes? They were like, how? How did you? And then we see her Instagram, I'm like, what the fuck is this? She not only is by herself have dreadlocks, but she's like, I'm gonna lead a movement.
Oh, she also had dreadlocks?
She also had dreadlocks, and she was giving dreadlocks to all of her white friends, like straight up Burning Man like person. Yes, but it was hilarious.
Oh man,
hilarious. Colorado is very much.
It is the Wild West.
It is the wild. It really is.
It is.
It really is. It is as like it's like a Jackson Pollock painting. You're like.
There's so many different kinds of little freaks.
It is. It's a lot. It's a lot. And just like the architecture in Colorado, it's like storage container home vibes.
Yes.
So like, it's like everyone lives in like a tin storage container.
Right.
Or like in the moving little tiny trucks, like the tiny homes.
Tiny homes. But then Denver itself like is such an expensive city for a city where you go like this.
Yeah.
Like strip malls.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Even we went to what is the Pink Castle spot, the spot that Trey Parker.
Oh, Casa Bonita.
Casa Bonita,
Yes.
right? And like you go there and you're like, this is like another like what's the word for like an amusement park?
Yeah.
In a way. But like you're like, that's like the only thing Denver has. You know?
I could talk about this forever, but we do need to roll into our final segment. So this is our final segment. Something that has changed your life for the better, a sell that you could sell to our people. Mine's a pretty broad topic.
Okay.
It just has been something that's on my mind, and we don't have to go down the full rabbit hole of it, but forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
It's more than saying sorry.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
To forgive is divine. So let's have a glass of wine and have makeup sex till the end of time.
Forgiveness.
That's Anna Faris in Just Friends.
Really?
Yeah, she sang that song.
She did sing it. Yes, that is right. Yes, that is right.
But
I love that movie.
I've just been thinking, I'm always reading some freaky book. And I've been reading a lot of like some overlapping things about just like forgiveness. And I thought it would just be a nice thing to bring up, like in the holidays, hanging out with family, like all of these there's a lot of complicated relationships. I feel like the holidays are a great time to like celebrate and do all the things and be with people you love. But then I think it also can bring up like a lot of hard things, a lot of trauma, a lot of different things, a lot of memories, and thinking of like forgiveness as a tool, not necessarily for the person you're giving forgiveness, but like as a tool for yourself.
Yes.
Like thinking how forgiveness can set you free from things.
Totally.
And I don't know, it's just been something that's like on my mind in the zeitgeist for me of being like, how can I use like forgiveness not only for other people, but like forgiveness of myself?
I love
and
that.
how, I don't know. I think sometimes people think of forgiveness and be like, oh, I have forgive that person. And then that person comes back into my life in the exact same way. And I'm a fool for that. But I'm like, you can forgive. A lot of the most important forgiveness happens without even that person knowing that you're forgiving.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
That's important.
like, I think forgiving can really like release you of a lot of pain. I think, so yeah, thinking of forgiveness as a tool to like give you comfort.
Oh, I love that. I love how deep this episode is.
I know, it's really great. I had to go deep with Max. Yeah.
I think that was such a good sell, especially because when you think about like family and how oftentimes the things that like get us revved up are the things that have to do with like our childhood trauma or things that are in the way, and like having to face those things oftentimes involves forgiveness.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And it's so easy to like, I think sometimes we hold on to resentments because we so badly want to correct what has happened and rewrite what has happened. And so it's like, if I keep ruminating about this, if I keep these resentments and I hold these close to me, then I feel like I have control over them, or I can come out with like a different outcome of it.
Yes.
Where I feel like if you're like, this thing happened, I I forgive you and I forgive myself, it's like suddenly the thing has dissipated. But a lot of times we're not ready to have the thing. Sometimes we're still holding on to the hurt that has happened. And so it's like, I want to ruminate on the hurt because that makes me feel good and make me feel like I'm in control. So like forgiveness is actually this gift that you can give yourself, but it's hard. Sometimes you're not ready to forgive.
It is. And you don't have to forget.
No, you don't have to forget.
No.
You don't, trust me.
And
baby,
I
don't.
No, at all. Come on. Fool me once.
Never forget.
Yes. I never will forget. Yeah.
But you can, use your other tools like boundaries and stuff like that to navigate in the future. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah, and just like a way of like getting into forgiveness, I think that most people are only navigating out of the tools that they have been given.
That's right.
And we all have been given different tools.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. That made me think of a good sell. So I don't know if people have ever heard of Liz Moody, but she's like kind of like a wellness
guru,
like influencer, and like she interviews like a lot of doctors, and I think she's also like maybe a researcher. And she has dreads. It's really important. She has dreads. She gives dreads. She is full of dread.
That's right. Her sale is dreads.
No. Sorry, Liz Moody, if you're listening to this, I wish. But no, she's. I really, really like her. And one of the things that she talked about, like especially when you're going into the holidays, is like when you're all around the table, having kind of like a prompt of like, what's everyone's favorite memory involving this, or like what was everyone's favorite memory at Thanksgiving at like age 15? Like, do you remember what happened? That. And so my sister was the one that brought it up, and then we were like, it really did lead into like a really fun conversation with my family. And I think also because like everyone's cooking and there's chaos and there's kids everywhere and there's so much happening, like it's a really nice moment to sort of connect with the group. And like my mom was talking about how it like sometimes pisses her off when it's like, let's go around the table and say what we're thankful for, rather than like, and it not really having meaning. Yeah. And Liz Moody was talking about like, rather than thinking about like what you're thankful for, like who is someone that like you're grateful for, like in this moment, or a time that you're grateful for, and that stirring up conversation.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's like, sometimes it depends on like the crowd, you know what I mean? Like tailoring like the question to, because sometimes you can like be in a group of people and you're like, I'm kind of sensing how much people are going to give, or when you're around the people where it's like, oh yeah, like let's dig in sort of thing. Yeah. The Thanksgiving I normally go to with my sister Molly, her friend, hosts it in Brooklyn, and she always has like a prompt, and I think it's really nice because she will set the tone. So it'll be like she'll give the prompt, and then she will set the tone with her answer by being very vulnerable and
very like, very art of gathering.
Yes, it's very like, and she always says like over like the past year, like what are like moments or people or times that you've like felt like gratitude or whatever. Yes. And I remember like the last Thanksgiving, like we went around, it was like probably like 25 people, and people were like everyone was in tears, but like in a really beautiful, like people, when you open up the door to like sharing in that way, people I feel like will come in with that same energy, and it really does. Right. I don't know. I think like a group, just reflecting as a group, I think is powerful.
And having food right there for like, I'm releasing and I consume. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you, Hannah, are also very, very good at like setting a prompt and like getting people to open up in that way.
Totally.
I just like love a moment where, because it forces you to just have to like breathe, connect, like slow down and remember like why you're even there.
Totally.
And you're reminded that you're safe.
It's easy to get swept up in the chaos of it.
And if it's not safe to do it with your family, or that's too heavy, it's like find your people this holiday that you can like whether go get a drink with or go get a coffee with. It's like find those people who are safe to reflect with and like reflect with them. Totally. Because I think it's especially in this time of year because we're coming to a year close. Whatever the prompt is, whatever the thing, it's like such a good time for reflecting right now on the year and what you want in the next year.
The whole month, not just the 2 days before.
I saw something online that was like, and I have no idea where this came from. I didn't do any research on where it is, so whatever. But they're saying 2025 was the year of the snake, a lot of shedding, and then the year of 2026 is the year of the horse, and it's like moving forward, like charging forward. I love that. And so like a lot of the astrologists that I've also like watch is like saying 2025 felt like frustrating for a lot of people because a lot of 2025 was like planting seeds and then like so you're not seeing it right then, all the seeds that you're planting. Yes. But 2026 is like if you were like reflecting and planting seeds and doing the work in 2025 and you're feeling frustrated, like 2026 is like the year of seeing some of those things flourish.
I would say in terms of like shedding, that makes a lot of sense, especially with like all of my throwing up and shitting. Like I think that was my last sort of end of year shed.
Your last purge.
Definitely.
You have to get it all out. You're clean.
I got to get it out before I horse around.
Exactly.
Yes, for your horse around. Exactly.
Max, what's your cell?
My cell is take as many baths as you want.
Oh,
and as you need.
God, Max, you are speaking my mother freaking language.
It's real. Like
do you have any Taurus in your chart? Do you know?
I do.
What are you a Taurus rising?
I do. I am no.
I feel
Taurus
like
moon?
You might be
Taurus
a Gemini.
Moon.
Okay.
Sagittarius rising. Yes.
I'm Sagittarius moon.
That's wild.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my
It's all
God.
making a lot of sense.
It is.
How often do you take baths?
At maybe twice a day.
Really?
It's just really good for soreness and
Max,
stuff.
you should be an influencer.
I know. I'm the influencer in the bathtub. I thought about doing that.
Do you put anything in the bath?
Yes, Epsom salt.
Yep.
Or like, Lush bath bomb.
Yep.
You are living right.
Yeah, and also you should also do what is it called? Transfers. Which is something I learned in Colorado.
Okay.
Where you can just do them in your bathtub. As long as the water for cold is under 50 degrees, that's 50 degrees and under, that's where you are doing basically a cold plunge.
Okay, got it.
And then hot water. You start with hot for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then you drain that, and then you do cold.
Okay.
Yes.
Ending with cold.
I feel like especially with the life we're living right now, doing so many shows at night, I'm such a midday soaker. I'm
me too.
After
Me too.
a 2 p.m. bath. Hello. Yes.
I'm about to tell you all something here, because you're all my friends. I'm about to tell you all something that my partner would say that it seems psychotic about me, is that I like getting in the bathtub, no water, and filling it up.
I also do that.
Yes.
I also do that.
It's to get the temperature right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll go in with maybe an inch of water.
That's
and
right.
then be adjusting my.
Yes.
And by the time the tub gets all the way full, I'm almost done.
Yes, I know. Yes. You've read, you've listened.
Truly,
yes.
I'm like, it's full, and then I probably spend another 5 minutes, and then I drain.
Exactly.
My
It's
bathtub kind of sucks because it's like draining. It like still slowly leaks as it's full. So I always wait for it to fill up. But when it's like a really luxurious bathtub, I'll sit in there with the warm water and just like.
I love that.
A
Is it
bath
slowly
is a
leaking because of the thing that helps you
It's like-
not commit suicide? You know that thing?
Yeah.
It's like
the little,
it's like, hey, we lived through the 70s. We gotta put this
Don't
here.
do this. No, my bathtub doesn't even have that.
Oh,
so
okay.
it wants me to kill myself because it's so
Yes.
janky.
Why is the toaster in the bathroom?
My bathtub's like, come on, do it.
They
We know
have
it sucks.
they have like a kettle ball in their bathtub because they
yes.
use the kettle ball to
keep the drain down.
plug
Get
it.
the fuck out of here. That's wild.
I went there one day. I was like, "Why is there a kettle ball in the bathroom?" And she's like, "Oh, we use that as a plug."
I take a bath with my kettlebell.
Wow. Look at you, triathlete.
Not to come back to the neuro of it all, but when I was like in the bathroom at my parents' house, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like shivering, so I was like, I'm gonna take a bath right now.
A bath is just when you're sick.
Yeah.
When you're sick, a bath is really it's really.
exactly what you need.
mean, that's kind of like baseline home remedies of stuff like
Yes.
a bath.
It was
like,
just nice to
Dilate your blood vessels, helps slow down your blood pressure.
I think we need to wrap up soon just because we're running out of time. But I will say something that I'm focusing on that's in the bathroom this winter is like really focusing on staying warm. Like, and I know that sounds so like duh, but like when I'm at home, like I am not letting the toes out ever. Like we are keeping where like I'm always wearing like socks.
That's
like
the real soft life right there.
Yes. I'm like, well, I'm not letting. I'm really, really, really trying to limit my cold foods. Like I'm trying to like basically like when I'd have like a yogurt.
It's like that episode of Sex and the City. No brown foods, no brown alcohol.
I'm like hot teas. Like I'm on my hot tea drip right now.
Yeah.
I am like, normally if I'd have a yogurt bowl, now I'm making like a porridge. Like I'm doing only warm.
No, that's actually really good. Porridge.
I'm cleaning my chimney. I'm making my porridge.
Look at your meat pies.
My meat pies.
Lisa, can I have some more? No, that's like a really, really good thing to do for your body, but also like foot baths are supposed to be great for like lymphatic drainage and keeping your circulation going.
Staying warm, y'all. We have to stay warm.
Especially with your toesies.
Huge.
Toesies. Always keep those toesies covered.
Absolutely.
Always keep that robe handy, a fluffy robe, blankie.
Nice robe.
It's hygge season. Get that coziness.
Yes.
It is.
Before we wrap up, I also want to remind everyone that our producer, Shelby Steele, made a gift guide of a lot of the cells that we have had on this podcast, like small businesses, items, products of things that if you're looking to buy a gift for your friend for the holidays, take a look at the gift guide because there's a lot of good stuff on there.
Yes.
It's on our Instagram.
And in the world of community too, we're going to be putting out like a small business, like places that you can shop, dine, all of the small businesses in our area that we really like.
And listen, we are privy to Bucktown. There's a lot of stuff in Logan Square and Bucktown.
But that's only because it's the best neighborhood in Chicago.
I know. Also, you can also, this is a good time to add those restaurants that are helping, like give people free food that show their like Snap cards.
Oh, yes. That is so.
That's a great idea.
That is a great idea. Max, this has been such a pleasure. This has been so fun. Could talk forever.
I'm about to go throw up and shit.
And then take a bath.
And then go take a bath. I'm gonna bathe in it. Don't worry.
My bathroom's ready for you if you want.
Oh, I appreciate it with the kettlebell.
Yes.
I'm gonna do a couple swings.
It'll get you worked up.
Yes.
How did you think it all went now that you got to do it after months and months of waiting?
Incredible. So much fun. So comfy. Yes.
I'm really comforted to know we're navigating on the same wavelength.
Seriously.
Me too.
You guys are really parallel.
Yes, we gotta travel together. It sounds like there's a lot of overlap of things we want to do. 2026 for me, the big focus is Europe. I'm getting to Europe in 2026.
You have to. Have you ever been?
No.
Oh, you got to.
I know.
You got to.
I know.
You got to.
Okay, the rite of passage. If you want to sing us out with our song.
Okay.
I can't wait to tell you. Here you go.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8.
I can't wait to tell you.
Ooh, I like that. It was kind of like an impersonation.
Yeah, that was so nice.
It was giving Jackson 5.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Max. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for doing this. You're the best.
I can't wait to tell you.
Okay, we could let's get going. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, which I think is like so. She taught us how to make tortillas.